Hey gang, it's Az, back for round 2 today. Excuse me. This video is about skeptical thinkers and the fact that I think we have a tendency to stop reflecting on certain things at a point, and I think as people we're all guilty of it, but as skeptics we should be skeptic of ourselves too. This came up because a random video I saw Ted Cruz talking about the stand your ground law. I'll post that video below. If I forget again, always remind me. In regards to Zimmerman and Martin, the case in Florida. I'm not a big fan of Tom Cruise, him either, but Ted Cruz, because both of them are a little bit too religious-y for me. But Ted Cruz specifically, he's a little bit too religiously conservative for my palate. I'm a centrist, leaning towards conservative values, but I start to shy away from things when God is mentioned or anything like that. I don't believe anything should be done because of what it says in the Bible. But he was talking about the Zimmerman and Martin case and the stand your ground law, because I'm sure a lot of you remember there was at the time a lot of buzz about the stand your ground law and how it's racist because because it's racist, you know, because only stand your ground is only for white people shooting black people. And in that video, and I didn't know this, Ted Cruz says, you know, with all this, and I'm paraphrasing again, you can watch the video, it's not too long, I think it was 4 or 5 minutes, 7 minutes maybe. He talks about, he's like, you know, we're up here having this committee to bring to light the stand your ground rule, which for those of you that don't know, it's a form of self-defense in certain states, but in short, in self-defense, you're supposed to, in standard self-defense claims, you're supposed to either not be able to flee, or if you were able to flee, the imminent threat would have exposed you to death or great bodily harm. So, if some guy's 20 feet away and he's like, Steve, I'm gonna kill you, and I'm like, oh no, I could run. Alright? Now, I may not know if he has a weapon, not know if he has a gun, but if I just pull out my gun and shoot him 20 feet away, there could be, I'm not saying any of this is concrete, because the bottom line is it's going to come down to a jury of your peers, so educate yourself. Could I have ran instead and not shot that guy? Could I have fled the scene? So then it comes into play, like, do I have my kid? What if I have a baby in my arms? Could I have ran, you know, or a stroller? Could I have outran this guy? But stand your ground laws make that a little more, the fleeing aspect a little more relevant. So in short, stand your ground laws are, and I'm paraphrasing, so, you know, look these up if you want. Sorry, saw my dog moving over there, little goof. Stand your ground laws essentially says, I don't have to try to retreat. The moment I think I'm in danger, I have the right to defend myself with deadly force. So you could have ran, you know. You don't know if the person had a weapon. They just said, oh, I'm gonna rape you. And at that point, in certain states, that, you know, that comes into play. I want to say Texas, I thought it was one. I think maybe Florida. So fast forward, or I should say rewind back to what I was saying. So Ted Cruz is like, we have these, we're having these committees wasting government money and time, stirring up vitriol among people and talking, you know, dividing people by race by first of all saying it's racist. And the interesting thing is, this is the part I didn't know. This shocked me. I didn't know this, and I kind of pay attention to these things. I'm shocked. He's like, Zimmerman never used the stand your ground doctrine as a way to defend his actions. Never. Just think about that. All the political posturing, the oh, we need to get rid of this because it's racist, and look what happened here. That was trumped up by media, whipped up. It's people using the death of a kid to promote their agenda. I'm not going to talk right now about what I think should or shouldn't have happened in the Zimmerman thing. I'm talking specifically about stand your ground law. He never used that defense. So to bring that up in this case is irrelevant. It's like a guy drinking and driving, smashing into a car, killing 4 kids and himself, and then saying, well, maybe if he would have had his seatbelt on, those 4 kids, you know, like, no, you're talking about separate things. And that was just like amazing. I never even was aware that was not used. I don't know. I just, you know, was kind of shocked. So that's just a clear example of how, you know, even then, you know, when news comes out. So, okay, I'll go on to, there was this was sometime like last year, middle of last year, there was an article on Face Page about some other news source that was like, Donald Trump says no, he doesn't support the GI Bill for veterans. And this was like one of the first times I'm like, A, wow, people are stupid, and 2, yeah, I did it, fake news is a thing. And this was before there was this big fake news thing. Now, this is what struck me as odd. I know at that time what Donald Trump was saying about veterans. So my first flag, because I'm not just like one of the sheep today who says, oh, headline, it's news, that's truth, and now I'm going to tell everybody about it. And the irony of it is, at that time, I had to point it out to the person who posted it because he was a veteran posting this. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe Trump said this. So the article says, Trump says no, he doesn't support it. And then it goes into this conversation, and you have to look at the context of what's being said. So it broke down the conversation line by line, which was the easiest way for them to manipulate the conversation. Because it says, the gentleman asked, the interviewer asked, so do you support the veterans getting benefits for education like the GI Bill? To which Donald Trump is quoted as saying, no, I traveled all over the world doing trade deals, and then went on from there. Now, so like on top of the article, immediately red flag, like, Donald Trump all of a sudden says screw veterans. Okay, sounds legit. And then I'm reading this quote like, hey, do you support the GI Bill? No, because I travel all over the world doing trade deals. Like, okay, well, that's kind of odd, right? Like, it'd be like saying, hey, do you like chocolate ice cream? And me saying, I like my steak well done, so no. Like, you know, that doesn't fit. Maybe there's something going on. So you watch the entire video, and in short, this reporter was just launching questions at him and trying to get Donald Trump to have his foot in his mouth. And so when he said, well, do you support veterans having access to something like the GI Bill? Donald Trump says no. And what he's doing is answering the question about 2 or 3 statements back, where the guy was blowing through it and saying, oh, so you think this? To which Donald Trump is responding to that question. Not the one he just asked. He's saying, no, no, no. And the context was him saying, I am capable of renegotiating these global trade deals as a president because I travel all over the world all my life negotiating trade deals. But they took that quote line by line and put it out of context, to which at that point they omit the next statement where he essentially says, and I'm going to paraphrase, yes, I support, I support veterans, healthcare, education, and all this stuff. But people are, I don't want to say they're dumb, but they are definitely motivated by convenience. And it's just convenience to see something and run with it. And that's, it's a problem. It's so problematic because people, especially with the mainstream media, and their alternative facts and fake news, people wouldn't have even questioned it. That guy didn't. He's like, oh yeah, that makes sense now. So even when there's stuff that I support, I still go and double check. Sorry, I'm getting congested, so I have to do my shot of liquid cocaine, clear out my sinuses. Yeah, I don't know. On here, just so you all know, I'm not doing cocaine. It's just some nasal spray from Kroger. Yeah, so be skeptical of not only things you don't agree with, but be skeptical of what's going on in your echo chamber. Because you should be the last person to criticize anyone on the left or any liberal or Democrat or even people, centrist or whatever, for their willingness to sit in that echo chamber and pump up their brain, but then do the same thing. You have to venture out yourself. And oddly enough, talking about fake news, I was trying to find that article for reference, because again, this was last year, but I can't find it. Not that I spent more than 5 minutes looking, but you know, it's funny with the deleting of tweets, the deleting of articles, the editing of articles, or the scrubbing of them from Google search engines, or not even pulling them up initially after the fact. It's all very convenient. I think that's it. I may do a video soon. We're having conversations in ABL, Anthony Brian Logan, lives chat about pistols, concealed weapons, my thoughts on what I think is the best, what I think of blah, blah, blah. I may do a quick video on that next. Get that out of the way, just because, again, it's on my mind now, and I don't have anything to do for the next hour. So I hope you have a good Monday and have a good week. I'm going to try to go shooting this week. I may try to go outside because there's some places here that allow you to shoot outside, but it's like amazingly warm right now. It's like 32, and it's supposed to get up to 40 in the next couple days maybe. And if it does, I'm gonna try to venture out. You can shoot with less restrictions if you're shooting outside. I think that's it. Have a good Monday. Have a good week, and see you when I see you. Go easy, gang.